Just making sure, because like we didn't do that for like one of the first ones that went way over. So oh, okay. Thank you so much. Okay, yeah, great. Oh yeah, we can keep trying.
There's a lot of controlled opposition going on. And you could tell because they exclude me. That's one of the big Illuminati signs right there. That's right. It's interesting that Rog is here and not Grace Lee or John Liu. They were both involved with this. I know because I was there. I was there saying, what the hell is going on? I was saying, what is this? I have it on record. Then when I tried to bring it up, I think, is this the person who kicked me out of the room? It may be, yeah. I was in the meeting trying to bring this stuff up, and I got kicked from the call. I think that's the one who kicked me from the call. We have to go back and check that video. It shouldn't be hard to find. And in fact, while I'm waiting, I'm going to do that on my other computer right here. I can do that. I can and will. If you guys want to follow me, go to youtube.com and go to look up my channel. I'm going to be looking for reach or curriculum. I'm going to do search for those keywords. Okay, we got one of them. Okay, let's take a look at what we got. Screw it, let's take a look. Alright, you can see right here. This is his AANHPI Reach Curriculum. Yo, check it out. Check it out. This djelf7, yeah? Alright, cool. So we're going to actually address on this issue over here. So you could see me in the meeting with these folks. These very same folks that are about to be speaking right here. Okay. I'm wearing a different Optimus Prime shirt today. I also have a Megatron shirt, but I saved that. Where is this? Oh, here we are. Does anybody recognize? See, this is John Liu right here. And, interesting. I bet you some of these people... Oh, this guy's here today. He's actually right behind me. He in that suit. This is that guy right here. Richard. That's Richard, I guess. So I guess this is like happening today. Like they're going to have their big Albany Day talking about this stuff. I gave him all this stuff right here. Anyways, yeah. Sponsor on this bill, and to be working with all of you. Yeah, I got booted. Booted. There it is. Oh my goodness, are we back? Oh, we're still live. Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah, this was the last meeting. There's other meetings that I was in. Aha, here, you can see, right, yeah? AANHPI Curriculum Organizing with John Liu and Grace Lee. She's been really a part of this. They're setting things up for these people. They're new to the, like people think, oh, she got elected, she's all this stuff, yeah? She just started. The thing is that when they first started in office, they got a lot of other people who's been on the Hill longer, who like kind of lean on them and make them like do this and do that and like, it's just the way the game goes, folks, you know what I mean? So they're putting some stuff in her hands, which is good. But there's a little package in there, just so you know, folks. It's not. This is legislation. You know what I mean? This is not like there's other. This not everything is as it seems, folks. But Raga's here. I do like Raga. Let's see what's about to go down. I just sent out a letter cooking Grace Meng, and I know Grace Meng has Steve Raga close, so it's Meng's playing her own game, and I ain't mad. You know what I mean? But look, as far as I know, nobody here is really a conspirator. But it's fucking. Anyways, we are here, and we're gonna. I'm gonna try to cooperate. We're gonna see what's up. So yes, take a look right here. Bam. I will definitely be in contact with these people and ask them what's going on. It's cool. We got the deafblind thing going on. Shout out to the deaf community right here, Asian deaf. We got an event coming up. They're excited. We're going to be doing more work together. You know, I do work with the disabled community. I'm happy that they're here. This is pretty good time. Let's check out the back rooms over here. Do reverse here. Reverse-a-roni. Okay, how's the room doing? The room is doing. I would say that this turnout, as you see, I see right there, is like kind of average for all of them. Some of them are a little bit more packed, but there was that big space, and then they splitting into like 4 rooms. So if all those people came, I think they would maybe fill up this hall if they went every seat plus a little bit more. So is that a 4th? Plus it's early. More people should be showing up. Definitely. I think this is definitely one of the highlight panels. But let me check the other stuff that's going on in a second. Oh, what's up, 12 Veils? What's up? We are live in Albany. What's up? All right, it's gonna blink out for a second while I check the schedule. Give me a second. I'm checking the schedule here. All right, screw the schedule. I'm here. Oh, just so you know, Robert Jackson's gonna be here too. That's right. Or he's supposed to be here. We're gonna see what's up. We're gonna see. 12 Veils. Some more interest came in for the. Yo, remember 12 Veils? We went to that Korean event, that Noda Tool one. Look it up right now. I went there yesterday. I don't know if you saw the footage. They did not post any picture of me, even though I had my Trump hat on. Like, they could say that this was like some kind of like a significant look. Even their community is supporting this. No, they cannot talk about me because of the corruption that's going on at the top. It's really sad. We went to the event together, you and me, 12 Veils. It's called Noda Tool. You can look it up, yeah? Look at their picture from yesterday and my live feed from yesterday. They just posted up. It's really sad. They're trying to erase me from history. It's hilarious. There's a pretty good sign team over here. Watch the sign language people go at it. I will ask ask him about his job right there. I got some just interesting. Probably trip him up. I don't want to trip him up, make him look bad. So it's a tough question. I like to ask hard questions. Fascinated by trivia. What time is it, folks? Do you know? Oh yeah, I got my other computer here. I think it's supposed to start at 2:30. What? 3 o'clock? It should be starting soon then. Let me check the time. Alright, we're back. I checked the schedule, yeah? It's supposed to start already. But, I guess we could start a little bit late. I think we're going to start any moment. There's this going on and another thing going on. that I want to check out, but this is definitely primary interest.
Hi everyone, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Who here is really excited to talk about ANHPI curriculum? This is an amazing way to wrap up API Heritage Month, and I personally, and I'm biased, but feel like there's no better way to end this month than to talk about our history, what we're doing to learn it, what we're doing to teach it, and how we can ensure that our voices are uplifted in every space in our community. And so today, we're really excited to share and uplift Reach's work. Reach is the coalition that's been advocating for legislative ANHPI curriculum. We're advocating for 2 bills, one including curriculum establishment that New York State districts across New York State can opt into using, and another one, a survey bill, which we're really excited to dig deeper into today, that will help assess how school districts are or are not currently teaching ANHPI curriculum. And based on that data, we can truly understand where are the gaps, what are the resources needed in schools around the state. So if there are professional development needs, right? If there are different things that students and educators need, we can identify those and make a strategy following that data. We're also really excited on this panel to spotlight
those camera
Localized
guys
Histories Project, which is
about the racial
a
Palestine
project that was co-created
from this
with
curriculum.
CACF and Ari CUNY, and Ari CUNY has done an
But they don't
amazing
care.
job taking lead on this
Prove
project,
me wrong.
and the folks on this panel will share more about it. But this is a youth-driven, youth-led research project that is truly looking into what is being taught in the classroom, where are the gaps, and the coolest part, in my personal opinion, is that students themselves are developing curricular resources based off of the history they never learned, to ensure that the next generation, including themselves, can hopefully learn that history in the classroom.
She literally said they don't know the history,
we're really
but they're
excited
making
to
the
talk
curriculum.
generally about strategy.
They're being guided by
If you
someone
all have been
else.
following the fight for ANHPI curriculum, one thing that may stand out to you is that this is a multi-pronged approach. We have a legislative fight, right? We have fight in funding to ensure that our communities are properly and equitably funded so that our curriculum can be taught in the schools. We have a partnership, and we need to develop a partnership with the SED, the State Education Department, to ensure we're working with them to implement and to monitor how well ANHPI curriculum is being taught in the classroom. So these are just a few, but of many pronged approach that we need to think about and strategize around to ensure ANHPI curriculum is taught. And the last point that we'll talk about together in this panel is the importance of doing this in community. So yes, absolutely, it is essential to build power for ANHPI curriculum. But the best way we can build that power is to do it in an intersectional way, to ensure that alongside our communities, we're bringing up every community that has been excluded from the curriculum for forever. That includes ensuring Black history is taught, Latinx history is taught, in every community, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander history is taught. And so that is also a key part of our strategy.
She can't say Palestinian.
And so I'm
She
really
can't say
honored
it.
to welcome you all today, and
I'm just being real with
I'm
you.
going to pause there,
She
but
cannot
I'm
say
really
Palestinian.
excited to introduce Assemblymember Raga, who will be moderating our panel today. Assemblymember Raga is a champion for this effort. He has been a fearless supporter, calling for ANHPI to be taught in the classroom, and we're really excited to have him today. So I'm going to pass the mic over. Thank you so much.
Working? There you go, there you go. Thank you for everyone joining us today. Thank you for picking me to help moderate and ask a few questions here for our experts and panelists here today. It's so important to have our stories heard and taught, especially the earlier the better. I remember learning about our API communities in college, about the contributions, the efforts, and the history makers with the Asian American community, not just in the state, but across the country. So I think what I want to do first is, if we could go one by one and with our panelists, and we'll go from, we'll go this way, oh, the other, okay, fine, President Wu first. Going this way, everyone can introduce themselves. where they work, what they do, and also, the first question is, how would communities benefit from an AANHPI curriculum? How would it impact New Yorkers? So President.
I'm gonna jump in real quick with permission here.
They're gonna use her to trump my activism because she
I'm gonna
looks.
step in real quick one
She has the
second.
look.
To just ask that if anyone is recording or filming, that we just ask to keep this a private space and to not do so. I think just the designated photographers that are part of the API Summit, please continue, but everyone else, we're just asking out of respect to please keep this a space where we can talk strategy and share information with one another. Thank you so much.
They don't
Hi
like.
folks, my name is Frank Wu, I'm president of the Police College. Let me just add as a quick follow-up to that, not everyone supports what we're doing. There's some folks who would like for us not to be here, and not to be talking about this, and who will do everything that they can to ensure that we fail. So we need to bear that in mind. I need to duck out a little early, so I'm gonna say three things real quick. The first is, there are good arguments and there are bad arguments. And I'd like to give you an example of each of those. Here's a good argument for teaching Asian American history, because it's American history. Here's a bad argument. I have heard some people say, and maybe you have as well, this is usually on social media, sometimes it's in language. So on WeChat, for example, it may be some of our friends, some of our relatives who are Chinese immigrants who say things like, China really is going to take over the world, people had better pay attention to us, we're going to be in charge. That's probably not a good argument, because that just plays into fears of yellow peril, that people might sometimes think that's what's going on, it's sort of self-aggrandizing, some will even say that's Asian supremacy, not a good argument. So the argument that we should go with is a very principled argument. This is part of American history. And it's also useful to know. So here's the second thing that I'll say. And people study this. There is lots of research now that shows that when you are inclusive, as a company, as a nonprofit, whatever it is, you do better. If there are people of color, if there are women in leadership roles meaningfully, the organization performs better. So some people have studied this in the private sector. Businesses that are more diverse generate better profits because they adapt. They have the perspectives of all sorts of folks within. So there's also a very practical reason to do this. Third, I'm going to give you some real quick examples. The great novelist William Faulkner once said, "The past is never dead. It isn't even past." So I'm going to give you three real quick examples of how Asian American history is alive and well right now. First, birthright citizenship. It's in the news, it's being threatened, it's under attack. That constitutional principle was established in the 1890s by the child of Chinese immigrants born in San Francisco. Another example, the internment of Japanese Americans. Some people are looking at this not as a shameful part of US history, but as something to be copied. So this too is not historical. It is a current public policy debate. Lastly, in terms of bridge building, most Asian Americans are here because of the 1965 Immigration and Nationality Act. That act was made possible, I know I don't have time, I'll finish in 2 sentences. It was possible because of the 1964 Civil Rights Act. If you didn't have the Civil Rights Act the year before, you wouldn't have the Immigration Act. Why am I telling you this? Because that Civil Rights Act was primarily, but not exclusively, about the struggle for black equality. So if the historical rights movement hadn't won, and Lyndon Baines Johnson hadn't pushed everything through in '64 for the Civil Rights Act, you wouldn't have the following year the Immigration and Nationality Act that swept away the old racial restrictions and that allowed our parents and grandparents and some of you to come here. In other words, once you see this history, you see the unity. So it isn't divisive, it's unifying. Thanks.
Point of order, you said safe space, no filming, right? There seems to be people filming.
I'm filming,
And
yeah.
you know what happened to CPC, so.
I don't know what happened to CPC.
All right, well,
But this, isn't this a public forum?
Can we ask you to please not in respect?
What about transparency?
We're just asking you to, like, reset community agreements.
why do you want it?
Because the thing is that I had brought up grievances about this particular curriculum that I've actually handed out hundreds of papers before this event. I'm not saying it's all bad, but I want I think that there's some really crooked things going on with this curriculum. Hey, I'm just peacefully filming. Someone else is making an issue. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not threatening anybody. I'm just peacefully documenting what's happening here. Is that a problem? Is it illegal for me to film these proceedings? Are you guys going to kick me out for this?
Because we do have panelists that need to step out a little bit within the hour.
Am I really going to be kicked out over this?
And we will, now that this has been raised, we do have folks on notice as well. So thank you for sharing. I think we can continue with introductions just to continue on the panel since some folks have to leave early. Thank you all again for coming, and I appreciate folks who are joining and being part of this important conversation. My name is Kulsum. I'm with CACF. CACF co-founded the REACH Coalition alongside OCA New York a few years ago, and it's been a really amazing journey to do so, and we did it alongside many of the folks in this room today, and many folks who are not in the room today. And I think we've spoken a lot over the years of how our communities will benefit from ANH curriculum, and I think Frank did an excellent job kind of laying out the points. For me, I think it's so essential to see ourselves in the classroom. It seems very simple, it's very obvious at times, but to see yourself in the classroom means that you're allowed to dream and you're able to see yourself in those dreams because you see that people did it before you. And if people didn't do it before you, if you're learning the history, you're able to understand why people didn't do it before you. It was most likely because they were prevented from doing it. And there were systemic policies and practices embedded to ensure that someone like you or me could not be in certain spaces and rooms. Knowing that history is essential for us to come into our own, for us to step into our power, and for us to build solidarity and build community. Like Frank said, this is a unifying effort. And it's only possible when we're able to truly learn and teach our true
I've tried to bring these issues many times to this. I have the documentation of the issues I've tried to bring them to this panel. They've ignored me every
Yeah, so
time.
hi everyone. Those of you who may not
I'm
know
just
me, my
filming.
name
I'm not
is
trying to make
Brianna.
problems.
You can call me Bree. I use she, her pronouns. And I'm here with OCA New York.
You're making more
as well
problems.
as holding the current
You got
role
people
as the
filming.
Vice President of
Go call
Public
them.
Affairs for OCA National. OCA stands for Organization of Chinese
They're trying to
American
kick me
and
out right
Asian
now.
Pacific American Advocates.
They're trying to kick me
And
out.
we are one of the oldest civil rights organizations in the country.
I have documentation
in New York State, as well as
They
across the
disrupted.
country
I was
fighting
quiet.
for,
They came
civil
to me.
rights of APIs
They
in this
making
country,
this a big
including
scene.
making sure that our histories are being taught in New York State.
I'm a
Like
victim
Kosi
here.
mentioned, one of my greatest honors with OCA New York has been co-lead, a former co-lead and co-founder of the
I've emailed you many times,
Coalition, which
Julie.
stands for the Representation
Many times,
of
Julie.
Empowering APIs
How many times have I emailed your office, Julie?
And I would really argue that because of many folks
I'm
in
not
this
trying to get
room
anybody in trouble.
that are part of the REACH Coalition,
I would
as
support
well as
any
alongside our
curriculum,
campaigns
but not this one.
like Raga, where we have been able to make
I don't wanna
significant
talk.
strides in making sure that our voices
Send
are
me an
being
email
heard
after this. I've
in the
emailed you so
halls
many
of
times,
Albany and
Julie.
making progress on really important
I'm Korean
legislation
American.
that would ensure
I have
schools
more
across the
candidate
country
interviews than any other.
across the state teach
I have more
our
interviews with candidates than
Remember
any other
why
YouTuber,
our community
and no
benefits?
Korean Americans from New York
Just curious
City.
here, who was
Okay.
in high school when you first learned about things like
I'm not trying to hurt
Japanese
anybody.
internment or Vincent Chin?
here to talk to
Do you remember that?
Did you get my? I gave you the paper
Yeah, we
that
have
explained my problems with this curriculum, and there's more.
All right, what about
It is
college?
bad for Korean
You went to college?
Americans,
Okay,
Julie.
cool. More about us,
It's
right?
bad for
What is
Korean
my
Americans.
senior year of college, where I
Say I
learned the
go.
name Vincent
You know who
Chin for the
died?
first
Edward
time.
Lee.
And it
That's the
was
guy who died in
Vincent
Say I Go.
Parker in Detroit
That's his
that
name.
sparked the
That's my
modern
name.
API civil rights movement. And I didn't learn about that until my senior year of
I don't want to make
college.
problems.
And I've been in schools all across New York State, from New York City to Long Island, as well as
This is why the
upstate New York.
Democrats are losing, because
So I
y'all
was
try to like
mind-blown
hide the truth
when
instead of
in
just
that course
confronting
I learned so
the
many
reality.
names and so
They
many
try to
histories
manage the
that
narrative
I wish I was
and
taught
play
as a high school
games.
student that would got me more
Just be
involved
real.
in API advocacy early on. And for those of you that didn't raise
Is
your
this-
hand for either
Is this
high school
is
or
this
college,
is this the law? I
don't
cannot
worry,
film
it's
in
not
here.
just a you issue. The 2024 report showed that less than 1%, 0.5% of textbooks in the United States actually have substantial parts of their curriculum dedicated to any kind of history. Even though APIs make almost 10% of 7% of our population. we're excited to continue being
Please
a
don't.
community and coalition
Please
with
do
all
not.
of you
I don't trust you.
to continue to make our voices heard. Because to me, New York has a lot of catching up to do to ensure that our
Welcome
community
to
is
Democrat
actually
land, folks.
after the inner textbooks are out.
I have documentation on my channel of issues I've tried to raise many times.
I'm here representing the World Wide History Project. This is
I've talked to Koreans all over the world,
It's an ongoing project.
but not any electeds in New York City. All over the world, I talked to Koreans. Sorry about that one. I can't just
Why is it important to teach
Whatever. That's fine.
Asian history in our
I'm the bad
classrooms?
guy.
There's not a lot to add, but maybe I'll add that it
I'm not
has
allowed to film. What are they hiding?
a humanizing.
Shut the fuck up. Do something, bro. Do something, man. What? I have documentation of me trying to talk to these people about how the curriculum's been manipulated. But the thing is, yeah, go ahead, man. Now they're kicking me out. This is real suspicious, man. I wasn't making any disruption. I'm just filming. What are you scared of? What are you scared of? What are you scared of?
I hate being
Disrespected? This should be isn't this a public forum? This is not a public forum, folks. I'm being escorted out just for filming. I did not make any problems. There's other people I have the footage of people taking pictures here. Why are they allowed to, but I'm not? There was other people taking pictures here. I've raised issues with this curriculum, including the exclusion of the word Palestine and Palestinian, the exclusion of the word say I go.
No one can listen to
The largest domestic disruption in New York in United States history. Half the loss were taken by Koreans. Yeah, clap your hands, bro. How many people you lost, man? How many people died, man? Yeah, you tough, man. Whatever, bro. What you sacrificed, man? Who you helping? I'm helping the longest wealthy man in New York State history, Otis Johnson. I'm working with the disabled. We're passing legislation right now. Kick me out. Like I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy, huh? I'm the bad guy. I was just peacefully filming. They got all these people following me out. What did I confront anybody? I was just filming a supposedly public presentation.
Can't hear you when
Our
you're
tax
yelling.
dollars used to pay for this building. Our tax dollars used to pay for this building, but I can't film what's going on in this building. That's very strange. It's very strange. Very strange, folks. I'm not trying to make anybody look bad, but maybe one of you have the answer for that specific question, please. Okay, can you? I'm closing on you. Can you answer this question? Are you going to call me? Are you going to gaslight me? The question that I'm asking is, they're not going to answer the question. Can anybody answer the question? A simple question is, if this is a government building and my tax dollars paid for this room and there's elected officials in there, why can't I film it? I'm not harassing anybody, but I'm kicked out of the room just for filming? Why?
Here's the thing. I would love to have a one-on-one conversation with you. I really would.
She's lying.
I'm not lying.
They said the same thing. This is a Democrat tactic. They say they want to talk. Oh, look at how many emails I sent asking for a conversation.
Let's step outside. Let's step to the side and have that
Let's have.
conversation.
No, I'm asking right now. What?
These folks don't have answers to your questions.
I'm
They're just
at-
trying to chill you out. That's all.
You're the ones who got excited. I was peacefully filming. This is all documented.
Let's just have a conversation outside.
This was all documented.
Let's chat.
Once again, this is a government building. These are elected people. These are elected by the people, paid for by government money. I'm not making this. I'm just filming. I was not being disruptive. Why is there a problem?
Here's the thing. You don't have folks' permission to film them, okay? And that's a legal problem. You have folks at all different kind of documentation statuses in this room, in this entire office, in this building.
Don't I have a right as a taxpayer? I thought this was a public event. So this is not a public event. This is a private event? Is this a public event or a private event? Isn't there a law about public filming? Are you giving out legal advice, ma'am? Do you work for an agency? I thought you were helping Asian Americans,
I am.
but
I'm
not
trying
me, right? What about my civil rights?
So we're gonna stop talking because you're not listening to me, even though you want me to listen to you.
Okay, I'll take this to the civil rights. I know you guys know Legal Aid Society. I know like who their donors are,
That's okay.
and I know that.
You know them.
Look, I have Maud Marin, please help. You know what I mean? I'm saying this right to you. This come right to you right away. Like I have a criminal justice reform panel coming up with Otis Johnson, the longest not allowed back in ever. Okay.
Not allowed back in that room right now. Okay? All right, everyone. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Hey, look. You want to have a conversation now? You said you want to talk. This is your chance. You heard what I had to say. My question was
I couldn't understand you.
My question is once again. This is a paid for by tax money, and these are elected officials. Why can't I film what's going on in there? Isn't this a public arena?
So you heard the ground rules that they had said at the beginning.
I could say my ground rule is I get to be in that room.
But everyone.
Why do they have?
Everyone else is respecting each other's.
Yeah, I just got disrespected. I'm an Asian American, got kicked out of the room. Who's going to help me?
Because you were disrupting the entire workshop.
No, they decided to make it an issue, not me. They made it an issue, not me. If I said I don't like the way you're looking at me, I could make it an issue. What? I was peacefully filming. I wasn't disrupting anything. Y'all are making things up. This is ridiculous. Asian American elected, just so you know, I'm on county committee. So kick me out. I'm an elected Asian American. Kicked out of the room. Filming. Wow. Okay. There are no rights. I'm dead serious. We have no rights. Bullshit. This is crap.
Where do you find that?
What's up, man? You're my bus captain, right?
Yes.
Oh, all the electric outlets are plugged, though. All right, I'm looking for electric outlets. Sorry, I was gonna sit with you. All right, I'll find. All right. Sorry.
We're not ready. We're not ready.
Let's go see.
Switch.
All right, let's put this out, yeah? Just thought it's real disappointing to get kicked out of the AAPI New York State Summit. As you can see, I've documented myself, reached out to them many times, asking them about the exclusion of CIGU, asking them about the exclusion of, others like that. So I'm spread through my media contacts. Hopefully they cover it. I don't think they will. But I think it's a serious issue, man. I think it's a serious omission, and we could just have a discussion. But they know, that this issue is something I've been trying to address, and they're just playing fucking games. It's really disgusting. It's so dishonest. All right, let's load it up.